Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to answer a very important Next.js interview question. What is ISR and when would you choose SSR, SSG or ISR? If you've already learned about SSR and SSG, then ISR is the missing piece of the puzzle. And understanding the difference between these three rendering strategies is something interviewers often look for. So let's break it down. Before talking about ISR, let's quickly review SSR and SSG. SSR, or server-side rendering, generates HTML on every request. SSG, or static site generation, generates HTML during the build process. Each approach has advantages and disadvantages. Let's imagine we have an e-commerce website. We generate all product pages during the build process. Everything is fast. That's great. But what happens if a product price changes after deployment? The page still contains the old price. To update it, we would need to rebuild and redeploy the application. For large websites, that may not be practical. This is where ISR comes in. ISR stands for Incremental Static Regeneration. It combines some of the benefits of SSG and SSR. Pages are generated as static files, but Next.js can regenerate them automatically after a specified period of time. So we get fast static pages, updated content, fewer server requests. Here, the page can be regenerated every 60 seconds. The first visitor receives the existing static page. After the revalidation period, Next.js creates a fresh version in the background. A simple way to think about it is build time, generate static pages, users visit, revalidation time reached, page regenerated, users get updated content. So the page stays fast while still receiving updates. When should you use SSR? Use SSR when data changes very frequently and must always be fresh. For example, stock prices, live dashboards, personalized content, and so on. Because SSR generates the page on every request. When should you use SSG? Use SSG when content changes very rarely. Examples: blogs, documentation, portfolio websites, marketing pages, and so on. These pages can be generated once during the build process. Now, when should you use ISR? Use ISR when content changes occasionally. Examples: product pages, news websites, course catalogs, company listings. You want the speed of static pages, but you also need content updates from time to time. Let's summarize everything. SSR, always fresh, great for dynamic data, more server work. SSG, extremely fast, great for static content, requires rebuilding for updates. ISR, very fast, content updates automatically, good balance between SSR and SSG. Imagine you're building an online store. The homepage changes only a few times per day. Using SSR for every request might be unnecessary. Using pure SSG might make product information outdated. ISR is often the perfect middle ground. You get fast pages and updated content without rebuilding the entire application. If you want a short interview-ready answer, you can say ISR stands for Incremental Static Regeneration. It allows Next.js to regenerate static pages after a specified interval, combining the speed of SSG with the ability to keep content updated. I typically use SSR for highly dynamic data, SSG for mostly static content, and ISR when content changes occasionally but still needs to stay reasonably fresh. A common follow-up question is, which rendering strategy do you use most often? A strong answer is, it depends on the business requirements. If SEO and fresh data are both important, I usually evaluate whether SSR or ISR is a better fit. For content that changes infrequently, I prefer SSG because it's usually the fastest option. Alright, that's it for today. Understanding SSR, SSG, and ISR is one of the most important topics in Next.js scenarios because it shows that you know how to choose the right rendering strategy for different scenarios. If this video helped you, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.